Hi everyone, welcome back to True Mamre. I hope you're all well by the grace of God. This video is about the Vice President visit to Ghana and Africa as a whole. I'll be watching a lot of videos, but mainly I wanted to know how Ghana is receiving this visit and agenda behind it and how they are reacting. I came across this video when a journalist, and it's sad to say that that journalist happened to be African. If not African, he's black. And you see, that's another part of the agenda. They will use one of your own, Asked our president, Nana Akufo-Addo, about, I'll play the video for you. And the answer that he has given, I was so proud of him. If you are playing game with Africa, now Africans are also playing games with the West and USA. Somebody also asked a question about China. We all know this visit is not about, benefiting Africa in a way. It's about what they can get from Africa. It's about the war, whether Africans will support the war or not. It's about, the other things that Ghanaians do not stand for. So instead of them asking the direct question, they have to use a journalist to ask the question. And that's why I said our president is too clever
for equality among all people, and that all people be treated equally. I will also say that this is an issue that we consider, and I consider, to be a human rights issue, and that will not change.
Yes. What's the name?
Kano Youngs of the New York Times.
Zolan Ms. Young, so thank you for the question. First of all, we don't have any such legislation here in Ghana. A bill has been proposed to the Parliament of Ghana, which has all kinds of ramifications, which is now being considered by the Parliament. It hasn't been passed, so the statement that there is legislation in Ghana to that effect is not accurate. The bill is going through the Parliament. It's going through the Parliament. The Attorney General has found it necessary to speak to the committee about it regarding the constitutionality or otherwise of several of its provisions, and the Parliament is dealing with it. At the end of the process, I will come in. But in the meantime, the Parliament is dealing with it. And I have no doubt that the Parliament of Ghana will show, as it has done in the past, first of all, its sensitivity to human rights issues, as well as to the feelings of our population, and will come out with a responsible response to the proposed. The legislation was a legislation that is being provided as a private member's bill. This is not an official legislation of the government, but it is one that has been mooted by a handful of private members. So we will see what the final outcome of it. But my understanding from the recent discussion I had with the committee, the substantial elements of the bill have already been modified.
This morning, one of the church's leaders has said that they are not going to accept anything like that, whether they like it or not. So I thought, yes, when I watched the president, that's what I thought he was doing. He didn't answer the question directly because we have election coming, and if he doesn't take care, he will be in big trouble. So he has to play. But then I will show you a picture. Look at that picture. That's not Ghana flag. That is not Ghana flag. And that has really upset a lot of Ghanaians that they will put that thing on the Jubilee House, and some people are calling it Ghana flag. We sing our national anthems in schools, in primary school, so you know the national anthem and you know the color of the flag when you are growing up. So no one can trick us and tell us that is Ghana flag. Another thing I want to say is, in Africa, we marry, a lot of people marry 2, 3, 4. My dad married 4, 5, I think, at the end. We cannot bring that type of marriages into the West or USA. And I'm glad one of the leaders said it. I will show you the video about it. We dare bring that. So we have our own culture, we have our own tradition, and we cannot impose that our tradition in other countries. So when that comes to the question, when they talk about human rights, I ask myself, and I think you should ask yourself as well, that the human right aspect of everything, is it different from different countries or is it the same? Because since I cannot impose my culture on you, which you have your right not to accept that, is it right for you to impose yours on me? You see, that's where Ghanaians find it offensive. That's where Africans stand their right and find it offensive, because I cannot impose mine on you. Don't impose yours on me and call it human rights. We have our right in our own countries, various countries, and you have your right in your country. By imposing your right on us, that is no human right. It means we have no right. Do you see what I mean? I hope it makes sense. Africans has been forced in so many ways and now are tired of people telling them what to do and what not to do. You see how China moving slowly. China has moving slowly by developing Africa. You know, people say, oh, by the end of certain years, China will take over Africa. No, Africa will fight back when the time comes. It won't happen. But then China gave without condition. US and the Europeans gave with condition. If you don't do this, we will not give you that. And that is the problem. That is what is upsetting Africa. Africa feels that the West are dictating to them up to today. They may influence their political living or ways, but certain things, when it comes to individual, that's when you see true Africans. They will fight for their rights, just like they fought for their freedom. So I want you to listen to what of the thought of the Ghanaians and how they are reacting to this visit. I call it agenda.
What is it when you heard about it?
Maybe I thought she's bringing the LGBTQ to, I think, to Ghana. So I think the rights of the people should be promoted, should be protected. Yeah.
Okay, so our Speaker of Parliament says we're not having any of it. We're still going to pass the bill as it is. This whole back and forth, how does it make you feel as a Ghanaian?
I don't feel okay with that, but as I said, the rights of the people should be protected. Yeah, that's
the rights of people who are gay and lesbians, right? Okay, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. I have another gentleman here. What's your name?
My name is Vincent.
Vincent, heard about the Vice President of US visit to Ghana?
Yes, please.
All right. When you heard about it, what did you think at first?
Maybe coming to help in terms of our economy, because every day we used to complain it's bad and things. So yeah, that's my mind.
Have you been on social media? Have you seen some reactions, LGBTQ focused reactions and all that?
Yes, and I don't see it to be right for her comments that in Ghana we don't support it, and it's not part of our culture. So saying it here as part of his agenda, I don't think it's a good thing. And the president saying it will be passed and he will come in, whatever. I don't see that one to be a good thing. And I'm standing with what the speaker is saying. When it's in the parliament, it's in the hand of the speaker, not the president. So I don't believe we should have it in Ghana here. It's not a good thing.
Hello, what's your name?
I'm Brenda.
Brenda, what are your thoughts about the visit of Kamala Harris to Ghana?
Yeah, I don't think like she wants to bring the LGBT to Ghana, and it's not right because in America homosexuality it's there, but in Ghana we have lesbians and gays, but I don't know what to say, but she shouldn't bring it to Ghana.
Kamala Harris's visit to Ghana.
Yeah, probably.
Have you been following it?
No.
You're not interested, eh?
Not that interested, but I have a lot of schedules to attend to.
Okay, but have you seen the reactions on social media, especially to the LGBTQ concerns and angles?
Culturally, we are not interested in that, as Ghanaians. Traditionally, we are not groomed to be those types, so I don't think our people will be okay. And that's what I think. It's very right.
But she says that, all rights must be protected, whether the person has this orientation or not. You must protect their rights, and that's how far she went. She didn't ask us to pass our bill or not. She just said, this is what I believe in as a person, and that's my conviction.
Okay, fine. I think ethically, morally, and we can't judge people by the ideas, but a person's decision, I think if the population, I could say only few people would be in that kind of lesbianism, gayism and stuff, and majority of us are not that type. And fine, if the person wants to, I don't think our people will accept that. It's not moral,
That's why they're called minority groups, because, the belief is that those who are heterosexual are more than they are. So, what do you think? We have a bill in Parliament. It's been before the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee for quite some time. The Speaker has said that the bill will be passed. We understand the President said some modifications and all. But for you, generally as a Ghanaian, what are your thoughts about that bill and what it contains?
Okay, fine. That bill it's okay for that bill to be passed, but I don't think it's really moral for us. I think everyone bears that consciousness in him or her that is not right. It's not
the bill is actually forbidding that, and even for persons who promote homosexuality, you will have to face the law. So you want the bill to be passed in that form?
Yes, it should be passed in that form because it's not moral. Yes.
Well, you heard it all. These are some of the reactions of the Ghanaians on the street of Africa. And I'm sure these ideas and the thoughts are all over Africa. Yes, I don't know if I mentioned it in this video. I have gays in my family, both sides, my husband's side and back home. And we don't disagree on anything. We live peacefully. We don't have any problem. But when it comes to forcing this thing on other people, that's when Ghanaians will speak their mind, and that's when Ghanaians will say what they don't want to, the word don't want to hear. So let's spread peace, not hate. That's what I would say. Why would some of these countries go to war without any proof? But when Africans do, it's a war crime. I end my case. That's my opinion. Life is too short. I have to tell my mind. What does it kill you, make you stronger? Please watch the video and I'll come back again.
And I said, Roma locuta complete. Causa finita. Yes, Rome has spoken and the matter is ended. So please, committee members that will refer the bill to, we want the report. Don't be intimidated by any person. Please, let the report flow. We need to legislate. Our friends just passed their law in Uganda. We may not go the way they have gone because our constitution is very clear as to the direction we should move. And so we'll be guided by that. Because if we pass any law against the Constitution, it's unconstitutional. So we have to do that. And so what are you afraid of? If you have the whole people behind you, if God is with you, who can be against you? And if God says, please go into the wilderness, multiply and
Freedom, we have freedom of speech and we have human rights. Then let everyone use their human rights. Thank you for listening. And like I said, share your opinion with us. Be following this closely. And I'm following it closely because this is the future of our generations to come. And anything that happens today can affect our future generation. Africa, we have to stand for our rights. As Bob Marley would say, may his soul rest in peace. Thank you for listening. I think this video might be long if I have to share everything that is going on in my mind. God bless you as always. Once again, this is True Mambe. This is True Life Story. Kindly subscribe if this is your first time, and I'll be bringing you news and true life stories. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you soon.